Good morning, everybody. You already know who it is. Target individual CJBK, aka Chris James, Brooklyn. So, yeah, it's about 6 o'clock, and just got paid. So, put some money on my rent, and then I paid a friend back who always hold me down. I always pay people back. Pay people back. So now here I am trying to send my mother some money. Try to transfer it through Venmo, and I got plenty of money in my account for the transfer. But as you know, when you being gang stalked, they use everything that is electronic against you. They got people walking the streets where they got, connected to this cloud somewhere. They got all kinds of, people involved in all this other weird Luciferian stuff. So I'm trying to send the money to, my sister to send to my mother, because I still haven't taught my mother how to use Venmo. So I'm trying to send her the money. I keep getting a transaction decline. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, maybe it's because, maybe I did too many transactions in the span of a couple of minutes. Maybe it is that. But then at the same time, I also know that, the electronic handlers, they have my phone hacked, so that means they probably have access to every single app that I have on my phone. And, they're in the V2K transmission talking about, Chris, you don't got no money. You need to save money. And I'm like, I have no idea why they so highly invested in me. But at the same time, God always said, when you have the light of God in you, there's going to be a lot of evil spirits out there that's going to be invested in trying to take your light away. And it's on you to remember to keep your eyes focused on the light, keep your mind and spirit focused on God, no matter what they do. So luckily for me, I've done my research. The denial of service attacks, the DOS attacks, the ping floods. There's so many different ways that they attack you. And I'm just like, the one thing that I always remember is that God is always able, right? So what I'm basically thinking to myself is, you know what? I don't even need to let them get to me. Why? Because they really can't. That's why they do everything covertly. I'm waiting on the day that somebody just finally come up to me and I'll be like, thank you. At least you got fucking balls. I shouldn't be cursing this. I know it, but I don't know. Cursing has flavor to a sentence. I don't know. Anyway, but I'm like, it's like, I don't want to say, I just watched yesterday several reports on the news about, a 70-year-old woman getting raped, some dude getting robbed on the corner, all this kind of stuff that's happening all around me. But yet, these people, these electronic handlers, these gang stalkers, they all coming after me who don't do nothing to nobody. I don't do nothing to nobody. I'm never someone who actually does anything wrong to somebody. At least not intentionally. So now, it kind of it just dawns on me that Lucifer is out here running wild, and he has so many people tainted. There's so many humans out here that have tainted spirits. So many humans out here with tainted spirits. And the worst part is, they use money to help influence these human beings out here to be tainted. People have lost their way. They basically gave themselves over to something that basically can just crash at any given moment. And then, I mean, when you think about it, when we live in we're living in the digital world is basically a blanket, or it's like a cover being placed over the earth, right? The earth is still there. The natural world is still there, right? But this digital stuff is but a blanket. It's like when you know you feel all right, but then someone is steady trying to tell you that you're sick, you got a fever, but you know you feel good. You know you're healthy. But someone is steady trying to tell you that you're sick, and then they're trying to put a cover on you, and you don't need the cover. Someone is trying to tell you that you're sick, but you know you're not sick, and you know you don't need the cover, but they're trying to cover you anyway. That's exactly what this digital world is right now. And, to be honest, I can't wait for the day that I finally decide to leave the society for which we in right now, because you know what? They could have all this. They could really have all this. I mean, honestly, I really don't get how people wake up every single morning ready to just send these transmissions into people's minds, trying to see if they can coerce them or psychologically convince them to become a crazy person or something like that, or and it's so sad because I know how deep this thing goes now. I mean, everyone is basically can be a part of it, unless you're the one that's actually being attacked by it. And if you're not being attacked by it, you're probably just being monitored, but you're not being attacked, And I don't know. I just thank God that I'm me. I really thank God that I'm me, because I don't want to end up being another, one of those targeted individuals that didn't know what was happening to them, so they lost their mind and started going around doing a whole bunch of things. I'm glad I asked God. I'm so happy I asked God to give me the wisdom to acknowledge the devil and his evil spirits that he got roaming this earth. I'm so happy that I'm not taken phased by any of this. Yes, they're radiating my body every day. Yes, we're especially as we're walking through this electromagnetic smog. Because I don't think everyone realizes just how much artificial electromagnetic energy is all throughout, especially New York City. But it's all throughout. This it's all throughout the world, but especially in the countries and cities that are heavily influenced with a lot of electronics, electricity, Wi-Fi, cellular data, all these different things. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm over here trying to send some money because that way I could give something to my mom, and they denying me that, right? So it's amazing. It's amazing. And they're like, he's like, oh, we're a secret society. And I'm like, God, look, they don't even know what you're about to do to this world. And you already told me all I gotta do is keep your commandments and it shall pass over me. You already told me that, and I already know you will give me the signs to know when I need to go, where I need to be. And even if you don't give me the signs, you will move me in the direction that I need to be in. So that way, when something happens, I'm nowhere near when it happens. So by the grace of God, I'm just like, keep feeding me, Lord. Keep feeding me. And it's sad because The electronic handler that's trying to handle me, I'm older than him. And spiritually and physically, I'm older than him. And it's sad because I live right down the hallway from his mother. And his mother don't seem like a bad person. But then again, you never know when it comes to gang stalking. Everybody puts up a front at first. But they put up a front, but they got the knife hiding behind their back. But I don't know. His mom seemed like she's okay. Unless he probably lied to her about who I am or something like that. But, yeah. I don't know, y'all. But, happy Friday. Yeah, just always remember, they don't have no real control over you. They really don't. They're only doing is because they don't know what to do with their lives. They're only doing is because they're not sure how to defeat the stresses of the world. So what do? Instead of fighting against it, they try to create it or basically be the one to dish it out. So, yeah, as always, remember, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.